I would not run if President Trump ran. And I would talk to him about it. You know, I mean, that's something that we'll have a conversation about at some point if that decision is something that has to be made. But yeah, I would absolutely. I had a great working relationship with him. I appreciated the way he let me do my job.
Republican presidential candidate, Governor, Ambassador Nikki Haley joins us this morning. Is the history of the First Amendment include the ability for anonymity? Because heads exploded this week when you said that people online, you get rid of the algorithms that maintains anonymity.
Social media has become a national security issue. Yeah. So when you look at it, first of all, I think social media companies need to show us their algorithms. Be transparent to the American people. How do you do what you do, and show it to us? The second thing is, what I know, what anyone in intelligence, and we knew this at the United Nations, and they've known for a while, Russia, Iran, and China, North Korea too, know that the cheapest form of warfare is to spread misinformation. Look at what happened with Israel. You want to know where all this pro-Hamas information is coming from? It is coming from foreign actors that are sowing chaos and division. I want freedom of speech for Americans. I don't want freedom of speech for Russia and Hamas. And that's what's happening right now. So the way you fix that is we need our social media companies to verify everybody so that we can get all of those.
So you're not really saying that people can't tweet anonymous. I mean, but that's bad enough, because you see what it's doing to our kids and bullying and everything else.
Do I think life would be more civil if we were able to do that? Yes. It's the same reason why I think doxing, like, you know, you should stand by what you say. But no, like, if you can have anonymous, I don't mind anonymous American people having free speech. Okay. What I don't like is anonymous Russians and Chinese and Iranians having free speech.
They need to verify every single person on their outlet, and I want it by name, because when
what about Smug? Does he qualify?
I've provided them with my government.
If Smug is on your driver's license, then, and look, you can put Smug in parentheses, but I want everybody's name.
Appointed Tim Scott.
I did, yes.
So he's gone. So, but Ambassador, you add Tim Scott's numbers in, add a couple other people's numbers in. The math still isn't anywhere near where it needs to be. And we're all wondering what seismic shift would need to happen for this to become a reality.
I mean, look, y'all said this to me a few months ago. You're like, how are you going to break from the pack? We break from the pack. How are you going to do in the debates? We do well in the debates. How are you going to catch up? And we're now second place in Iowa, second place in New Hampshire, second place in South Carolina. We've got one more fellow we got to catch up to, and we'll do that.
Good luck with that.
What happens? He comes out of the gate. He hits the female chair of the party. He hits the female anchor on the platform, and then he hits me. And I'm not saying anything.
I ain't saying, I'm just saying.
But he might have a girl problem. I'm just saying he might have a girl problem.
Ramaswamy, why do you keep going at Nikki Haley? Why do you think this is going to bear fruit?
Chris, I don't know what you've been smoking, man. You and the rest of the mainstream media. It's laughable. Nikki Haley's been going after me the whole campaign. First debate, second debate. You know, she's been trailing me for much of the time, but I realize the establishment media has realized that there's a puppet they want to put up. I'm not playing that game. The grassroots of this country know they want a leader who isn't going to send us, our sons and daughters, to go die in foreign wars that racked up $7 trillion in debt. Dick Cheney 2.0 is taking over the GOP. Problem is the Democratic establishment media is now rooting for war, too. I'm the only candidate speaking for a true America First agenda on that debate stage, and I think we're going to be successful.
Vivek, how are you going to bring people together when you just put together a tapestry of conspiracies? You know that I'm not pitching anything about
Chris,
Nikki Haley.
What are you talking about?
She won't even come on my show.
There's no tapestry.
She won't even come on my show.
There's no tapestry
of conspiracies.
About, I'm sure she doesn't.
Hold on a second. I let you put it out there, and now, you know, I get to finish smoking, and now I get to answer, which is, this is what the media is doing, is putting up Nikki Haley against me because they know I'm the real deal. Please. She hasn't even been on my show. I'm just watching you get slapped around by her, and I'm wondering what your strategy is.
The fact of the matter is, Chris, my strategy is calling out the mainstream media like I did to Kristen Welker at the start of that debate. I asked her about the Trump-Russia collusion hoax, told her to look the audience in the eye and apologize to them. Just like I'll tell you, you're part of the mainstream media despite pretending like you're not. Look the audience in the eye and tell how you covered for your brother. for all that happened.
I'm part of the mainstream media. Hey, listen.
And you play the same games that the rest of the mainstream media does.
You don't want to take care of
You're
your
doing
family?
it tonight.
That's fine.
You
Vivek,
have been
I'm not playing
covering
a game.
for your
You
brother.
think-
You have been playing a game. You were
of
kicked
course
off
I cover
on
for my
CNN,
brother.
so
Of course I help my brother. Of course I do.
And you know what? That's been journalistic standards that have now been failed, not just by you, but by every member of the broken political media. So yes, it is going to take an outsider to call it out. And you want to look
everyone
at
in the media
most
is responsible for covering for my brother? See what I'm saying?
90%.
You miss
90% of the media is colluding
by
with
going
respect
too
to
broad.
pushing one answer
Vivek,
on the American public for the origin of COVID-19,
which is what?
to the Hunter Biden laptop story,
what
to now
which
people they decide they want to put up as their puppets to take on Donald Trump.
That
and that's just the fact of the matter.
Look, Vivek, you can talk
what
a
has
lot,
to do with it is that mainstream media is setting the terms of the actual debates in this country.
Okay? You can talk a lot, but not necessarily be saying anything that's worthwhile.
You would know a lot
Here's
about
my
that,
simple
Chris.
question.
I've been listening to you, and I think that you're a good example of that.
Nikki Haley keeps kicking your ass in these debates. Why
according
go
to
at
the
her?
left-wing media,
Pick someone else.
Chris, give me a freaking break. You turn on social media, you understand. People should watch that debate. I went to New Hampshire. People were laughing at the idea of the mainstream media's coverage of the New York Times columnists and people like you who belong there with one narrative because you have some identity politic vision of what you think a leader of this country should look like.
Nikki Haley
when in fact
is
the
my
grassroots
Trojan
of this
horse?
country understand. Well, the fact of the matter is you guys have made a career out of deciding that the America First agenda is not the future of this country. Kick that out of the Republican Party. Put a genteel version that you can control as your little puppet so American politics looks the way you want it to. And yes, many people, you know what? We don't need a Republican Party leader who itself is a wholly owned subsidiary of Boeing, which itself is a wholly owned subsidiary of the Democratic Party, masquerading as a Republican.
Vivek,
so I do
there's a
think
reason
that the real
that she is
swamp
beating you in the
uniparty
polls.
is a problem.
There's a problem
for the last 6 weeks, and before that, it was the next 6 months before that. The fact of the matter is we got one front runner in this race who's 60 points ahead of everybody. That's Donald Trump, and we should talk about how we're going to actually have a different leader. The change I'm going to figure out is
you're
this.
not going to have a
generational
leader if he wants to be the guy.
In the GOP.
He'll be the guy.
Well,
yeah,
the
but
leader
all you're doing is playing to the divide, Vivek. You're not bringing anybody
Chris,
together.
I'm not playing to
you're
the
not
divide.
Trying to
I'm
bridge
actually
any
playing
gap.
to... Nobody's reaching...
You're
Chris,
playing a
Chris, I
baby
don't know
Trump game.
What the point of your actual interview is if you're not actually interested in getting answers to hard questions.
Stop
Here's the
being
answer.
negative
Chris,
and attacking people and offer something to people
Chris, I'm
that's
not here
positive and that promotes something.
I am offering, if across this country, the grassroots of this country, we are offering a vision of what we stand for as Americans. Nobody's reaching young people in this race like I am. I've been to more college campuses than any Republican in the history of our party, bringing in young people in droves. 40% of the 100,000 plus, 150,000 plus donors that have come into this campaign are first-time ever donors to the GOP.